Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome to Tuesday's edition of Let's Talk Tri-State, the first Tuesday of 2025. We are so excited to be here with you today. We are Tiny and Katie. This is Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice. Winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State. Feels like it's been a minute, huh, since we've done this.
I feel like so much has changed, and we are, like you said, we're January 7th right now. So we are a week into the new year. We are basically 2 weeks removed from Christmas. And are we, and bear in mind, we haven't done a new episode of Let's Talk Tri-State since just before Christmas.
Well, I mean, we were on vacation.
Well, right.
Sure.
But it leads me to a question, and it goes for this as well as for New Year's. Is it too late to even discuss Christmas?
I think so.
Like our Christmases?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I know that you just said it was only 2 weeks ago, but I do feel like it was like months ago.
I'm going to explain something to you. I'm going to try to tiptoe around this because we're on the radio and live streaming. I have a theory regarding Christmas, at least how it feels for me. Okay. There's when two people are, we'll call it intimate. Okay.
Oh boy.
When that part has ended, there's a certain time frame where you don't want anything to do with anything regarding intimacy anymore. You know, I don't think it's like maybe an hour or 2 hours or something like that. It's a scientific thing, right? Even the thought of it is just like, okay, I don't know, we're good, we're done, everything's fine. I feel the same way about Christmas. The whole lead up, great. The day of, great. When Christmas is over, on December 26th, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's over. It's done with.
I feel a little bit like that way as well. And the day after Christmas, now mind you, I'm a single woman and I don't have children. And I think sometimes that forces me to move on a little faster than everybody else because I'm ready to take down my Christmas decorations, take down the tree, and rock on to the next thing.
Sure.
Because it's just me.
Right.
So when I got home from visiting my parents the day after Christmas, I walked in, I looked at that Christmas tree, and I was like, you're coming down.
Yeah, you got to go.
Right now.
Yeah.
I took all my Christmas decorations down, put them back up into the attic, put my regular things out, and it's not like I'm a Scrooge or I don't love Christmas. Right. I just was like, okay, let's get it out of here. Mm-hmm. Let's get my house nice and clean.
Well, and you had the day off.
And I had a few days off.
So take advantage of it.
Get ready for the new year. And that's exactly what I did. So now walking into the new year, because I think a lot of people will put off the deep cleaning until the actual New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do anything on New Year's Day. I mean, that doesn't, if it's not me laying in my bed, I'm not a part of it.
Did you go out the night before? Did you stay up late? Okay.
Yes.
So, and you historically have been a person who will do that. So that makes sense that New Year's Day would be that day where you would be like, we're not doing anything. I'm going to sleep in.
And it's kind of like the day of rest for me. I mean, I also drove to Charlottesville, Virginia. It's like 2.5 hour drive.
Right.
So by the time I got home, I mean, I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to lay in my bed, watch TV, and that's how I spent the beginning of 2025. And I'm completely comfortable with it.
And here's a question too. Now I did this question online just out of curiosity. And the question was, when do you stop, or is there an official cutoff to when you stop saying Happy New Year?
The second.
The second?
I would say after that.
I'm all for it.
What about it? I think I changed from Happy New Year to Have a Good Year. Hey, I hope you have a great year. If it's maybe the 4th or the 5th and I haven't seen somebody and I really care about them, maybe I'll say, I won't say Happy New Year, but I'll say, I hope this year is great for you, or something along those lines. Kind of alluding to Happy New Year, but not quite those words.
I'm with you. I personally will stop right around the 2nd, but I think the longest I've ever heard anyone use Happy New Year in my presence has been around within the first week. Anything after that would stick out like a sore thumb, and I'd be able to probably quote you the chapter and verse and year that happened. But online it said that traditionally, now we're talking, from, years and years and years ago, 100 years ago, that you would say it was customary to say Happy New Year to someone if it was the first time you saw them in the new year.
That makes complete sense.
Well, if you don't see someone since July, till July.
Happy 4th of July, and you know what?
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Oh, say, Happy New Year! Tom, Happy New Year! Goodness gracious. I mean, you see somebody, like if I go in August, go on vacation, I'm down at the beach, roll up there, sweating my butt off, pulling out, the food and the umbrella and setting it up and look over and see, Jim?
So we have Tom and Jim, okay?
Happy New Year, Jim!
Yes.
How you been? Or, I mean, so the first time you see someone, what if you see someone for the first time in the New Year on New Year's Eve?
Tiny, these are situations I just don't
Well,
think
it'd be
about.
confusing. Think about it.
It would be very confusing.
Right
Yes.
before you see someone like, hey, I'm glad you're here. Happy New Year.
And then in 5 minutes.
But you'd say to me, well, Tiny, was that for like
This year or next year? I don't know. Yeah.
So yeah, that's very confusing to me.
Yeah, I see the pickle and the debacle there.
Yeah, it's
for
crazy.
Sure. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Speaking of pickle, I wanted to tell you this. I don't have a snow shovel. I realized that yesterday
Okay.
when it was snowing that I don't have a snow shovel. I used to. I think I left it at my house when I moved up here. I just left it behind. And so as I was walking up my steps, because to get to my apartment, I have outside steps
Yeah.
that I use to get into my apartment. I mean, there was like.
You mean you
6
don't rappel up the wall?
I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
And I don't hoist up with like a rope or anything.
Well, that would be repelling.
Well, I find you repelling right now. So I looked at the steps and I said, I'll go out and get a snow shovel later, or I will ask my neighbor for one later. Well, as you can imagine, I did not do those things. Left my house at 4 o'clock this morning. There is so much snow on the steps. None of it has been, and I can't see because there's not a light that's on my balcony.
Yeah.
About the third to the last, totally wiped out, completely wiped out. But because there was so much snow, created a nice little padding for me. Wasn't too bad. But I was really upset because I spilled my coffee more than anything. That really bothered me. But down I went. So as soon as we are done here today, I am going to buy a snow shovel because that seems a little childish to not have one of those.
And I'm assuming I'm safely assuming.
My landlord.
Right.
So I was even thinking, I know they take care of snow, but do they take care of the steps going up to my apartment? I'm going to say the answer is no.
Well, yeah,
because
given it wasn't done.
It was not done. So and you know what? I'm an independent woman. I can shovel my own steps, but I can't do it without a snow shovel.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of part of it.
A credit card can only get you so far.
Exactly.
Chiseling there.
Maybe easier to take that credit card and go to Lowe's and be like, snow shovel, here we come.
Well, speaking of weather, we are going to see areas of blowing snow today. Just be careful if you're out on the roads. Maybe some, I don't know if they're going to be quite whiteout conditions, but it could be a little dangerous.
It was, and the thing with this snow is since it was such a light, airy snow, very fluffy, so to speak, it does blow. On my way in here, the roads that I take, which, I mean, obviously any roads are pretty well clear, but it's blown shut.
Yeah.
Really, it was touch and go many cases. And then you get like a longer patch where it was perfectly clear, so you go, oh, this is great. You start to get up to speed. Next thing you know, you hit a curve, and it's just a complete whiteout.
I could hear the wind. I couldn't sleep last night, so I was up at 2:30 this morning, and I got out of my little cocoon, and I'm getting ready, and I mean, I hear the wind out there, and I just thought that is not a place I want to be at all.
No.
But I did it like an adult.
You got
I
to.
in my car and came to work.
Up early at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to do it.
Yeah, I know. And tomorrow we are going to see sunny skies. It's only going to be a high of 27. So I think it's official. You know, winter is here. I don't think we're going to have any more of those random 55, 60-degree days that we're randomly having. But today is National Tempura Day. It's always celebrated on the 7th of January, where we really enjoy that deep-fried goodness, whether it's vegetables, seafood. There's tempura ice cream now.
Interesting.
I actually went out and had tempura with your wife a couple months ago.
Okay.
That place in
Sapporo?
Yeah,
in
where you
Waynesboro
can
on the
bring your
square?
own.
Yeah,
bring your
Sapporo,
own.
yep.
Yep, we went there and we had tempura vegetables, and the vegetables were huge.
Okay.
Like, how do they get the broccoli that big and
I
the
don't
sweet
know.
potato that big?
I
Oh my
couldn't
gosh.
tell you. I know they have good food. She's brought me back. I've never been there on site personally, which is weird because it's so close, but why would I when she brings it back every time
Well,
she
yeah,
goes?
why would you have to do
But
that?
it's very good.
It would be a good day. I was thinking about this. It's a good day to order some tempura or some kind of like Chinese food, sit on the couch, eat something that's greasy and bad for you, and then, back on the wagon.
Well, and it also begs a question, when you have weather like this, so there's two things to think about. You have the accumulation, or we'll just call it the snow, or the temperatures. I mean, so are you worried about the temp, or are you worried about the snow?
Tempura. Oh, man.
Are you worried about the temp, or are you worried about the snow?
A tiny, That was a stretch even for you.
I think it's pretty good.
I know where you're going, but I feel like you maybe fried your brain on that one,
Perhaps.
trying to bring that to fruition.
Batter up.
Fried?
Better.
Oh, batter. Okay. I'm sorry. We lost.
The batter was better.
We weren't connecting there.
The banter was better with batter.
Okay, so let's go ahead and check in with the good word of the day.
Hello, this is Pastor John Starr from Good Ground Church in St. Thomas. I want to take a few minutes to share with you a bit of God's Word. Paul writes in Philippians 4, verses 6 through 7, don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. You know, there's so many things that we can be anxious about in this world today. Maybe it's your drive to work today. Maybe it's the bills that you have waiting at home. Maybe it's just your job is causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. And I found myself in life talking a lot about my problems. You know, I talk to everybody about my problems. I talk to my friends about my problems. Maybe I even talk to my dog about my problems. I even talk to myself about my problems. But with all my talking, sometimes I forget to pray about it. I talk a lot, but I don't pray as much as I should. You see, I can talk to all these people, but none of them can fix my problems. You see, prayer is a lifeline that we can use to talk to someone who can do something about what we're going through. God. The Bible tells us in 1 Peter to cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. If you're struggling with life today, I'd encourage you to take a few moments and pray for whatever it is that you're facing. You see, prayer is a means by which we can transform our anxiety into peace and our fear into peace as well. Take some time today to talk to God about everything that's going on in your life.
News is all powered by WellSpan, winner of the American Hospital Association's Quest for Quality Award, online at wellspan.org. A look at the art of the copyist is a new venture at the Washington County, Maryland Museum of Fine Arts from January 18th to May 11th. 8 copyists will be at work in the museum painting their interpretation of works of their choice from the museum's collection. Artists will be at work every Thursday through Sunday, and the visitors can come in, not only observe, but also ask questions and get to learn a little bit more about what they're doing. I thought that was something cool and interesting and different that they're doing.
I've said before, since we started Let's Talk Tri-State, and we've talked with folks from the Museum of Fine Arts in Washington County, and we've had several stories about them. Growing up in Hagerstown and growing up a block or two from City Park, and obviously by virtue of the museum, never realized as much went on at the museum. Mm-hmm. It was just that building, you knew it was there, it was a museum, and sure, that's great, but...
They do have a lot of impressive artwork in there, and you can really spend a nice afternoon there and see a lot of cool things.
Franklin County Commissioners are pleased with their 2024 meeting time and location experiment. They decided early last year to move the meetings to evenings one time per month and to move to different locations around the county. Commissioner Chair Dean Hurst said the changes seemed to increase public participation, and they are hoping more county residents will take advantage of the meeting flexibility this new year.
We'll be right back with Let's Talk Tri-State.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors, the right choice in Waynesboro, voted Best of the Tri-State 2024. Our next guest today from All Seasons Vacations, we have Wanda Kiefer, who is the owner, and I'm personally very excited that you're here because I'm an avid traveler.
Oh.
Avid traveler. So let's just start and tell us about your business. Tell us about All Seasons Vacations.
So I started 20 years ago on my dining room table. I had a dream, and I just kind of loved getting people and having them smile and just getting them out to perfect places. So I started traveling a lot. Basically started out with cruises, and kind of then branched out from there. And then I got connected with Sandals and Beaches Resorts, and that was the turning point of my business.
I bet.
Yeah.
And so what different locations are you able to connect people with?
I can go all over the Caribbean. So Sandals and Beaches has resorts all over the Caribbean, from Antigua to Grenada, Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Jamaica, the Bahamas. So they're all over the Caribbean, and we have adult only resorts, which are Sandals, and then we have family resorts, which are beaches.
Okay.
So
I'm going to Antigua in April.
oh my,
Yes,
you'll love it.
I am very excited about it. But because I've traveled so much, I do have a tendency to plan my own trips.
Mhm.
But it is a daunting task to do it.
Yep.
So if somebody were thinking about, let's say it's their first time taking a vacation and they really are confused about what to do, because it's a process.
It is a
There's
process.
so many companies and options and excursions. How do you walk somebody through the process?
So normally, if they're locally in the area, I like for them to come into my office, which is located in Mercersburg. We have a 1,200 square foot office there. And in the office, I have all of my sand from all over the place. And, we have pictures that we can show them. And we just kind of take some time and relax with them and say, tell me what you're looking for. Are you looking for a beach? Is that important? What about, is pools important to you? Do you want to get out and explore the resort, the island that you're on? So again, we go through a questionnaire sheet for them. And from there, we just kind of start picking and choosing based on what their needs are and what they're looking for. The good thing is I have been to every single one of the resorts. I tell people, if I have not slept in the bed, if I've not walked on the beach and ate the food, I will not sell it.
Wow.
Because it's important. It's important. You get a week's vacation, and the last thing you want to do is be sent somewhere that you're not looking for.
I went to Cabo one time. Again, I plan my own vacations, and I probably should not. And the food at the resort that we stayed at was awful.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the place was beautiful,
Mhm.
and there were great things about it. But when you take a vacation, we don't get to take a lot of vacations.
Yes.
We're always working, and we don't get to turn it off and relax. And you want to make sure that when you do get that week, that you really get to just, refocus and center yourself a little bit more. That you are eating good food, getting a good night's sleep, doing the excursions that you want, and not coming back thinking, wow, that was a waste of money, or I wish I had this or that, or, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And we kind of plan everything from the beginning to the end. So we will do your transfers for you. We will do your flights for you. We will do excursions for you. If you want a candlelight dinner on the beach because you're celebrating something, just let us know, and we're going to take care of all that for you. And our service is free. So
I was just going to ask, is there an extra fee for that?
No. You can rack my brain all day long, and I'm okay with it.
You don't charge any kind of fee to
No.
do this?
Nope. It's free.
Unbelievable.
It's free.
Wow.
yeah.
And I bet part of your job is you get to, obviously go and experience these
Exactly.
places, and that's not a bad gig to have whatsoever. What about if somebody were using your services and they're on a vacation and something goes awry? The flight, something's wrong with the flight, or there's a problem with the reservation. Are you open to those questions? and helping them through
Absolutely.
it? Okay.
Absolutely. We're open 24/7. I give them my cell phone number that goes directly to me. They can call me any hours of the night if they're sick, if they need a doctor in there because they're not feeling well, or, something happened, or, and hiccups do happen because we're not perfect. But the good thing is we have that connection. I have a WhatsApp app, and every single general manager, I can do a button, one call, they answer the phone, and they take care of it immediately.
Wow.
So
How far in advance do you tell people to plan for a vacation?
we are actually booking through 2027 right now.
Whoa. I didn't even know you could book that
Yes.
far out.
Yes. Why? Because we do monthly payment plans.
That was one of my questions
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And so if I came in, let's pretend I'm coming in and I'm using your services, and I say, all right, in 2026, I want to go to Sandals in St. Lucia.
Yes.
That might be actually a reality. So, and will you ask me questions like, well, what's your price point? What are
Yes.
you comfortable spending? How do you feel about layovers?
Yes.
And if I gave you a price, because you probably already know about what the price would be.
Yeah.
So if I came in with something that was significantly lower, would you say to me, Katie, that's not going to work for you?
Well, what I may say is something like, I know you're saying you want to do 7 days. Would you be interested in taking a day off?
Okay.
Let's do 6 days. Or would you be interested in possibly changing your room category?
Okay.
Maybe instead of an ocean view, let's look at a garden view. You're still going to have the great perks of being on that resort, but it may just be your room category shifts a little bit. So, and with doing this for so long, there's a lot of promos that come out, and we know that. So you may book something and say, this is what I really want, but this is what I can afford right now. And I'm like, okay. But if a promo comes out, I can call you right away and say, hey, Katie, guess what? A promo just hit today, and I'm going to move you back to that room you really want.
Oh, my goodness.
So we do that every Wednesday. We roll out promos every Wednesday.
So even if I book with you, it's not like we don't communicate again until I take the trip.
No,
You're
absolutely
constantly
not.
updating me with
Absolutely
everything.
not.
That's amazing. What if, and Sandals has such a great reputation.
Yes.
I mean, I've never heard a bad word about Sandals
Yeah.
Resorts.
Yeah.
And the pictures, the videos, just stunning. What if somebody wanted to get married in the Caribbean at a Sandals? Is that something you can help with?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We actually ended our year with 15 weddings. We did destination weddings in the Caribbean. And I'm telling you, what we're hearing from brides right now that are coming to us is it's a lot cheaper to go to the Caribbean and get married and bring your good friends, 20 of your best friends, than it is to go here locally and rent a venue with 100 of your friends that you may not see again, So we're seeing that shift right now with the brides, that they just want 20 of their closest friends with them that day. They come back then and do a big party here, but it's just the idea that they're getting married the way they want to get married and what they want to do.
I've always said that I'm not married, but if I ever did, that's the way to do it, on a beach in the Caribbean.
Yep.
And what kind of assistance will you provide in the planning of that?
So we do everything from the minute that you say, this is the date I want to get married, and this is the island and the resort, we take it from there. And we sit in every phone conference that you have with the wedding planner. And that way you are educated, we're educated right along with you. We basically hold your hand through the whole process, and we take over your guest list. So you basically say, this is who I want to come to our wedding, and we reach out to them. And we say, these are the options we have for you. Package A, Package B, Package C. And then we plan all their air and everything. And it's so cool because some of our weddings, I've had the privilege of going down there with them. And I'm on property. So they can just relax and have fun with their friends. And if there is a perk that comes up or a little hiccup or whatever, I'm right on it. So
I don't understand why anybody would not. Is that also without
that is included. Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Why don't more people know about this?
They do. And we are really picking up our weddings this year.
Okay.
I mean, for 2025, we're already halfway what we did last year. And we're in January.
Yeah. I mean, we just we're just starting here.
Yeah.
What do you see for the future of All Seasons Vacations? Do you see it ever branching into other countries, into Europe or anything like that?
I'm a Caribbean girl. I don't know, because I'm so picky with what I sell and who I partner with. Right now we are venturing out and we're looking at new resorts. We're going and visiting and staying at new resorts, new chains. The Hyatt Regency is one that we're bringing in, like the Hyatt properties. We're bringing those in. We're bringing the Hiltons in. We're bringing, I was just in Jamaica, stayed a couple days at Princess, which is a new resort there. But again, we're very picky with what we sell because I want people to go and be safe.
Absolutely.
It's important to me.
Absolutely.
When I put them on that plane, I want to know they're on that plane. I want to know that they're at the resort, and I'm constantly reaching out to them while they're there. Hey, just checking in, making sure you guys are okay. I want them to know that they can go out of the country, be safe, and they've got me as a lifeline.
It is amazing. Somebody who is an avid traveler. Now, the Caribbean I've hit just a few times, but it's different how when you leave the resort and you really venture out into some places, it's a different vibe. It's a different world out there. And it can feel a little scary. And I know I've probably booked myself a few excursions. At hindsight, I think, man, I wish I would have researched this a little bit more, but luckily everything turned out okay.
Yeah.
But what peace of mind to know, hey, Wanda's telling me this is safe. This is the way to do it. Because planning a vacation is not, planning a vacation here to the beach in Myrtle is not easy.
Yeah.
Taking your family on a plane to the Caribbean, figuring out where to stay, how to get there. It's really difficult. It is very difficult.
Yeah, and we also pick up on little things like, are you celebrating an anniversary? We make note of that. Are you celebrating a birthday? I have a family that's leaving on Thursday, and it's 16th birthday. They're going to Turks and Caicos. And, I reached out to the general manager, said, listen, this is the whole purpose for this trip, so we have to make the 16th birthday happen. It's already done.
And you have so many connections.
Yes.
You can really surprise your clients and do a lot of really wonderful things for them that maybe they didn't think about doing for themselves.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want them standing at a front desk going, we have a problem.
Right.
I don't want that. I want them to say, wow, this beach is amazing, and, the pools are amazing, and the food's great, and, if we have a problem, they just pick the phone up and call me, and I take care of it. So
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a personal favorite?
I do.
Place in the Caribbean? What is your favorite?
I am really big. I love Jamaica.
Do you?
Anybody follows me on Facebook or anything, they're going to see we love Jamaica. We've been the top 50 agent for them for 6 years now.
Wow.
And I love the people there. I feel like when I'm there, I'm going home. I know a lot of people. I get off the plane. People know me at the airport. People know me at the resorts. I walk on the resorts, and I feel like they're family to me.
I went to Jamaica, and I did also really love it. The people are fantastic. We did the Dun River Falls.
Yeah.
Had to do that. Stopped and snorkeled on the way, and then when you swim, it lights up.
Yeah, the luminous.
Yes. We did it at night. It was so great. I really thought I could spend a lot of time in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Antigua as well. Well, in the last few minutes that we have here, Wanda, how can people, I'm sure somebody is thinking, oh my goodness, especially with snow coming.
Oh yeah,
I need
that too.
I need to get something on the schedule, something that is Caribbean and warm, but I don't know how to plan it. I'm going to go to Wanda. How would they do that?
So first of all, they can reach out to us by phone. Our office number is 717-597-7412. We have an awesome team up there of girls that also know the products, know what's going on. Any of us can help you. And we also have a website. We have a website. You can follow us on there. We're linked with Sandals and Beaches. You're welcome to go on there and surf the internet. We advise you to. But just don't book on there because you really do need our personal service that is free to you.
Yeah, that's
so take advantage of us, right? That's what I tell everybody. Take advantage of me.
Is that common that the services are free?
Not as much anymore. A lot of agents are charging a fee.
Yeah.
But we just feel like we've had so many clients. I don't want to charge a fee. Our loyal clients is unbelievable.
Oh, I'm sure they're every year they're coming back for you.
Yes. So,
and word of mouth is huge for you, I'm sure.
In this area, yes.
Do you still do anything with cruises, or is it just
I don't. I'm just all-inclusive now.
Okay.
So we just do the all-inclusive in the Caribbean, and we do Mexico as well.
Okay. I've never been on a cruise. And what's so funny is I've done so much planning, and I've gone to Europe so many times, and I feel like I could plan it with my eyes closed, but a cruise, I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to book the excursions. So maybe that's something you can personally help me do off on the side. That would be great. Well, Wanda, thank you so much for spreading some warm thoughts to all of us now. And it's all seasons, vacations, in business for 20 years. So obviously you're doing something right. And it really sounds like you take care of your customers. And so hopefully we can get you some more and get some more vacations on the books.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll be right back with Let's Talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.
News is all powered by the DRB Group, the right partner for your real estate development. The 2025 scholarships from Wellspan Waynesboro Hospital Auxiliary are now available. There are special scholarships for high school seniors planning to work in healthcare, for Wellspan Waynesboro employees, and for those already enrolled in 2 or 4-year schools studying healthcare. Application packets are available at Wellspan.
Next up, a murder suspect police described as armed and dangerous is now behind bars. Joshua Bresnick, 32, was arrested by state police in McConnellsburg and is now in Franklin County Jail. He's accused in the shooting death of 20-year-old Rakeem Floyd of Chambersburg on December 18th in the parking lot of the Chambersburg Mall.
I'm glad that that has
Yeah.
finally come to a close here.
Excuse me, of a Chambersburg Mall. I think this was the one near the Big Lots in Chambersburg, I believe.
Glad that they were able to get him
Absolutely.
and get it behind bars. We'll be right back with Let's Talk Tri-State.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, winner in the 2022 Best of the Tri-State. You know, Nick, we're going to have to change that up because we're coming up on the 2025 Best of the Tri-State. So we got to get Home Right rocking and rolling with some votes, baby.
We do. We got to get all those folks voting for us again so we can remain the top dog.
You're not kidding.
Now, let me first start off here by talking about, Nick, how you're my hero.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, and I've said this a few times, but I want...
To different people today, she said it a few times.
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
I do want everyone to know how you helped me. So recently, I was looking into buying a house, and I knew that the windows and the doors were bad. I knew it. They were very, very old. The house was built in the early 1900s, and you could see it. Tiny, you saw it with me, that they were in rough condition.
Yeah.
Well, I really wanted to get a genuine estimate on it and wanted somebody that I could trust. So Nick goes with me to the home inspection, walks around, measures all of the windows, and within, I don't know, an hour or two, sends me back a quote for everything. And it was all done within like 2 hours. And my realtor was also quite impressed with you as well. And so you just in that small interaction, you made an impact on a few people, myself included.
Well, good. But, we try to solve problems. And your problem was you had a possible real estate transaction that you needed to answer some really tough questions in a hurry. So I kind of sensed that and knew you needed some information rather quickly.
And
She did, buddy.
Is that something that you would do for anybody?
Well, I mean, yeah, we can't always get there that quick and provide the information that fast, but it just so happened that the day we had you, I mean, we did schedule that like a week or so out.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like we showed up right away, but yes, we try to get that information back within 24 hours typically. We were just happen to be able to get yours a little bit faster.
I just don't know if I can express how much that meant to me as a single woman looking into making an enormous purchase alone by myself. I want to know, like, honestly, what am I getting into? What is this looking like? Right. I don't want someone who's going to come in and say, yeah, you need a brand new everything just to make a quick buck. I want someone to tell me honestly, like, and you said, this window's good. This window's good. This window is not, and it was honest and I really felt like you were supporting me and guiding me in the right direction. And I do want you to know how much I truly, truly appreciate that.
Absolutely. And I think you're touching on something that not just in the window industry, but the remodeling industry in general, there are a lot of companies that want to come out and close that business down on the spot. Mm-hmm. And you talked about being, the sole potential owner here, or a lot of times you're talking about elderly folks. People are out there being taken advantage of by companies who come in there and say, well, you have to do this, and this is what it's going to cost. And
it's not going to meet code if you don't.
Right, yeah. and scare you into making a decision that you really didn't want to make.
Right.
So
almost a predatory type.
Correct.
Yeah.
Our industry is just full of it. Yeah, it's crazy the way some of these companies operate.
And like you said, they put so much that they just shoot people out to try to sell, to close, and don't really take the time to make that personal connection. It's just about close, sell. They're salesmen. They're not window installers.
That's correct. Yeah. They're salesmen. They need to feed their families too, and the only way they do that is by closing.
Yep. It's the same thing with roofing companies too.
Exactly.
There's something that might be wrong with the roof, and then nope, you need a whole new roof. And I would actually get it done soon because the wintertime and yada yada. So something that I love about doing this show, Tiny, with Let's Talk Tri-State, is we get these reputable companies that come in like Home Right, that we trust and really rely on, and genuinely thank you for doing that with me. And unfortunately, the house didn't work out, so you can take me off your schedule if I was on there.
I already ordered the windows.
Well, you're on the hook then. Hey, somebody's getting new windows there.
Return policy on that one. But yeah, I appreciate you doing that. But speaking of windows, I know that your manufacturing partner is Provia. And when you emailed me the quote for the windows and the doors, it's all Provia.
Yeah.
And why that company? I wanted to ask you that.
So we've been solely with Provia for about 5 years now. We've had other window manufacturers through the years, And Provia was our door supplier initially. They did our steel doors, our storm doors, our entry doors, and they were always top notch. And they're known in the industry as one of the best door companies out there. When COVID hit, I feel a pun or a
pun. Sorry, yeah. That's adorable.
Oof.
Okay.
Very
you
good.
did provide her entryway into that.
I did.
To be fair.
Don't.
She didn't even pick that one up.
No, I did. I just ignore it. Oh. He always tries to outpun me. But yes, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
We meet a certain threshold, and she's just, I'm done.
Yeah, she tapped out.
Yeah, that's it.
So we were using Provia for their door program, which is fantastic. We were having some problems with some window manufacturers, actually, quality control type stuff. And in, I guess it would have been 2020, when COVID hit and a lot of manufacturers had trouble with employment, the wheels fell off some of these companies from a quality control standpoint. And we were dabbling with Provia's window program also at that point, and they never skipped a beat. I mean, as far as the cleanliness of their products, the packaging of their products, the quality control, all of those things that are extremely important to us as the end user of the product, because I don't want callbacks. I don't want to have to go back and take care of stuff that should have been right to begin with. Anyway, Provia did very good through that whole challenging time. And at that point, we totally cut off the other window providers we were working with.
Are there a lot of other window providers?
Thousands.
Are there really?
Literally thousands.
Oh my gosh, how do you even choose? Like, how do you even know who to choose? Just trial and error, I guess.
Exactly. So when we first got started, we were officially with a manufacturer that started the HomeRight business model. And then as time moved on and they kind of cut that program, we kept the name HomeRight. So we had one initial manufacturer. We moved on to another and then ran into these issues I was talking about. But for the last 5 years, and I've been called on by a lot of companies. A lot of companies want our business. We get salesmen coming in the door all the time. But Provia is just so good at what they do that we don't want to switch.
Yeah, would it have to be, this is kind of getting into the weeds of business, but would it have to be a wholesale switch to one company, or could you offer other, I mean, I know you said Provia checks off all the boxes, and believe me, they do. I can speak from firsthand experience, but would there be a requirement that you can only have one?
There's no requirement. We can sell whatever we choose to.
Right.
The thing for me that makes it so easy to do business with them is they have a portal that I use. So if a customer needs storm doors, patio doors, entry doors, windows, whatever it is, I go into that portal and I build out the estimate just like I did with yours. Mm-hmm. And it could be any or all of those products. And I shoot them an email from that portal just like you got. And it's all together. It's very professional. It's got all of the details. It's got all of the structural details, the energy efficiency details. That portal makes my life so easy. And then my customers get all of this information in an email, and it's like, wow, this is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's very easy to go through with them. So to your question, if I'm offering a variety of products, now I'm going back to the old-fashioned way of building out these products with a different manufacturer, comparing it to what I have with Provia. It just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
And you're the expert, so I'm trusting that you're going to provide me with the best window company. So I believe that if that's the best one, why even dabble in any of the other ones?
Well, because I don't want to have to deal with callbacks. I don't want to install your windows and then have problems. So I am going to provide the very best options I have.
Yeah, Katie wouldn't like this, but if you had installed if she bought the house and you installed windows for her, like Nick would install them, and then he doesn't want to hear from you again.
That's it. Don't.
I'd break my own windows. Hey, Nick, I need you to come back.
Whoops! Oh, Nick, that just popped right out.
I did go on Provia's website earlier, and their products and their pictures on their website are very impressive. Very impressive. It's really amazing what good quality, clean, crisp windows and doors does to a home. Really just changes the complete aesthetic of it. And that's why I was a little bummed that the house didn't work out that you looked at with me, because could you imagine that darling little home with new windows and doors? It would have been.
Yeah, I think people are sometimes surprised how much of a difference it makes. And
sure.
It really does spruce up the house a lot. And to your point about the website, they've got a ton of great images on there. So anybody looking at HomeRight can go to provia.com and see all of the doors they offer, all of the window options, all of the colors and things they have to offer. And in addition to that, they have they give you the ability as a homeowner to plug in your own pictures of your home.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
and look at what your home would look like with the different options that they offer.
Is that unique to that company?
I think a lot of companies are doing it now.
That is
Yeah.
really cool.
It's become a lot easier with all the AI and
All the technology these days, they're all taking advantage of. Yeah.
I'd love to see my home with the black windows.
Ooh.
There you go.
And that
Slick,
roof.
man.
Jump on provia.com and get it done.
I'm gonna have to do it.
really cool.
And then when you're on the Provia website, I'm sure that it says find an installer, and boy, where does it point you? HomeRight windows and doors.
I
of
hope
course.
so. I
Well,
hope
hey,
so.
We have to test that because if they don't, there's a problem.
Exactly.
And next month, Nick, I'm going to be actually coming into HomeRight Windows and Doors.
Yep.
Just, this is officially happening so that we can really everybody see all that.
The way it it's just
We're having
Episode Tristate 597. Let's talk. 21thegoat.com.